Welcome, HJR Insights Terror Show Energy Forecast for July 2026. I am Katie Oshilanita with Harmonizing Journey to Realignment Seminar and Sessions with my co-host, Lewis Oxley, to be a support and help me out. And so, hold on. Okay, why is it not? There we go. So, yeah, let's just do this part first, the intro part first, and then we'll do the prayer.
Okie dokie.
So you want to read the title?
The HJR Insights Purpose and Meaning. We will be examining the reality we as humanity have been creating. We'll be asking the questions such as what the current narrative is being played out. What is the history and the mechanics being used? What do we want to keep and what do we want to change about our current reality? And we'll also be looking at how we can support what we want to keep and how we can effectively shift out of what we do not want to keep into a win-win situation for everybody. The tools we'll be using, both Tarot and astrology are technologies we created to look at the universe with clarity, an intricate part of which we are to navigate our way through it. We will be using these tools from a Kalanta perspective with our guiding clan family and spirit team.
And just again, as a reminder, when we're looking at the astrology, we're looking at both what's not correct. We're looking at the current astrological, and we're also keeping in mind what actually is the organic galactic astrological alignments. And our solar system is within the sun, who is within our galaxy, which is within our Eka universal system. Our solar system planetary Kathara grid was intentionally altered to no longer fit within the universal Kathara grid system within its Akasha crystal spiral network, which is a big part of why this old matrix system is crashing, and a new one is coming up. Organic and crystal spiral is coming back up, which is really just reinstating what we originally are. But we have to let go of the old system, Taurus network system, to do that. And the signs and their houses represent our personalities, physical makeup, and our karmic patterns. Oh, and let me go back. The astrological solar system planetary houses of this map or diagram that we're looking at was from Voyager's 2, page 521. Okay, so Lewis, if you want to go ahead now and do the prayer as we are looking to be focusing on the month of July.
Of course. So the Crystal River Prayer sequence by Res Productions, Crystal River Prayer and Invocation of the Elisa Silver Sea Councils and the GANYYAC, TAEFW, ETYC, EAAC, AMCC, MCEO, the Silver Sea Crystal River Plasma Host Activation and Amplification, Part 1, the Prayer of Elisa. Euresia du Elisa Alhambra, Don Etale Sun Jadwa du Iste Entaro Derujamina Ilasa Sun Pita Alave Lostila Ilahu Kumana Ilatajidu. Elisa Sunta E Amita Gen 2, Elisa Sunta E Amita Gen 2, Elisa Sunta E Amita Gen 2. Part 2, the Prayer of Alhambra. In the Christian name and action of God Source, first eternal, the eternal Christ, Namia Yusufre, Ure Alhambra, Nami Ure Alhambra, first absolute bright flower founders. Alania Tupa Ure, Christa Arionia Res Cosminias, Alhambras, V. Elisa Subsea Councils, and the Alhambra Majesty Councils of the Cosminias. Uta ete irashudu un ala ita jet Alhambra, 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 Alhambra. Breathe in heart Mefima. Bring emancipation and transposition passages. Purple, pink on the left, blue on the right. Inhale and thema, bringing them together. Create a limit there, create a limit there, create a limit there, create a limit there. Throughout your solid structure, hold, hold, hold. And as you hold, just imagine a big illuminaire bubble just covering you and your environment around you. Ahumbra! And expand it out to your environment around you.
For those that are doing the love bubble work, you can just also imagine your love bubble around you.
Yes.
For whatever level of work you're at.
You're in the Sahara, electric in Sonora, the Logician Nabi, come say her de Tataja the Humbra, come say de la Untora Alabi, cos Mingus a Humbra de Ishravi. Ta Asian Tadore, Ta Asian Tadore, Ta Asian Tadore. Arionia Elisa Alhambra Abriadon. Arionia Elisa Alhambra Abriadon. Arionia Elisa Alhambra Abriadon. Uma e treina e. Uma e treina e. Uma e treina e. E kasha. Ashea neochasa. Ashea neochasa. Ashea neochasa.
So basically, and this is with any work that that I do, or anybody that works with quantum mechanics. If there's any energies or techniques or anything you're uncomfortable with, you always can say no. You don't want to bring it in. And always remember with the guardian team, they're not like these entity. They're more of a consciousness field of energy than an individuated individual. And their aspects, and we're to each of us tune in when we're connecting into the plan, right? I like to use the term our multidimensional plan family. We're always tuning into our connection at those levels because we have different multidimensional selves, which we talk about all the time. In these sessions, we talk about harmonic universe, incarnate self, harmonic universe 1, harmonic universe 2, harmonic universe 3, harmonic universe 4. All these are different levels, spheres within spheres within spheres of our multidimensionality of who we are as an eternal being. So we have the incarnate physical body, the soul of it. We come from a collective of oversouls. We come from a collective, one big collective of an avatar consciousness. And on and on and on at many other levels, but we're focusing within this galactic time matrix economic system. We're connecting into ourselves. When we do this prayer, really tuning in and feeling that consciousness when you're comfortable with it. Obviously, you have to tune in and feel it out for yourself. You don't want to take anybody's word for anything. You have to tune in and feel the energies for yourself. When you feel comfortable, you can bring it in more and more for yourself. Right. So I just got that I needed to stress that, especially for new people tuning in. That's what we're doing. We're not like some of the other groups were like Metatron and the Archangel Michael. We're not doing that. Okay. We're connecting into the original organic crystal spiral, Elanka, Flash, Tantria, Hura, spirit, light body, spirit body, organic crystal spiral mechanics for those that would like to do that. If you don't, you can keep the other mechanics of second creation, finite, death, and spirals. It's your choice. Okay. So we are going to focus on as a collective. So whether you, so when you tune in the future, because obviously this is being pre-recorded. I just really like Zoom much better than I do. I just space on words, whatever the software is.
You do it live. When you do it live.
When I go through YouTube Live and the software to do that, I just
Streamlabs.
StreamYard. I'm just thank you, Liz. I'm not impressed. With my computer setup, it just doesn't come out very well. So, this is just better. And again, if we had a lot of people wanting to do live, I would be fine doing that. But if people can't come in during live, then the record is better, and I won't stop rambling on that. So yes, so whenever you're tuning in, you are, because we're multidimensional, and we are huge spirit beings. Time is a construct, albeit it's still a real construct because we are manifestors and we create flawlessly, by the way, good, bad, and ugly. So whenever it is that you tune in, you've already at some level tuned in at this moment now as we're doing it. So you're just finally lining up when you actually physically watch this recording. Am I making sense on that? So your clan is with us now, and we are all tuning in together on looking at what July energy forecast is going to be, looking in terms of aligning with the organic crystal spiral of life, which we are in the middle of doing. Like I said, the old tube, Taurus, net earth, Fibonacci spiral, daisy, or flowers of life, tree of death, is disintegrating, breaking apart, and the organic is coming up and aligning for those that want to align. I mean, you can still hang on to that old spiral, and the reality of it is a finite life structure. If it's more comfortable for you, but those that want to line up to the organic, that's what we are focusing on. And you're very welcome joining in today and with all the classes that we do. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great. So our first card is our Aries positions of self, Mars. And this is interesting. The Six of Cups, nostalgia, big sister or big brother to little sister, compassion, emotions. So Aries is not typically this way per se, as a general rule, very fiery, very self-interest, developing the individual personality, the having to do with harmonic universe one identity. So this is saying that the ego right now, our incarnate self, is feeling more emotional. We'll be coming into this month feeling more emotional, more softer. And we'll just kind of see the cards after that, aspecting it, kind of giving a little bit more information about that. So we look at our, oh, wow. Wow. This is in the number 2 position, Taurus, Venus, personal resources. So we are looking at the sun. And this could mean, particularly when we're talking about resources, the sun card represents new beginnings, also basically connecting into the sun energy, renewal. And we're talking about Taurus and personal resources. It can also have to do with gold, can have to do with resources, a goal, monetary. Again, the second house shows what to consider, what we all consider valuable. This includes money, personal possessions, resources, earnings, ability, and the person's identification with what he owns. And we're kind of looking at the almost feel like with these two cards, almost like a stepping back and really looking at what are our resources. Again, and I'm kind of been getting that feeling last month as well, but more from an emotional perspective. But we will be receiving something that's very lucrative. Could even be with this card, birth, something birthing, new life, but definitely something to do with your resources. I'm just gonna sit with that. We may get more. I know Lewis is probably gonna get plenty more information. The next card for the third house, our near environment, Gemini, Mercury. So we have, interestingly, the Two of Swords, the Weight card, it's another slowdown card, okay? And this tends to cover 3 areas of life. First, that at first may not seem related, but taken together represent normal daily life. So what astrologers call the near environment, the communications related to the routines of everyday life, involvement with friends, neighbors, siblings, and the community at large, and a short distance travel in one's near environment. So this is kind of saying you're definitely not going to be traveling. You're probably going to be a little particular in communication on your friends, right, in family. Communication is going to be extremely limited for this month. And we'll kind of see with the cards that follow what way. And again, like I said, I kind of have this feeling with this first card going a little bit more introspective within the emotions and looking at protecting maybe your own emotions, but it could be protecting those close to you. Kind of an aspect of this card. Also, it's a karmic card, karmic relationship card. So it may be looking at some of your karmic relationships. And could be with children. Another aspect with the Sun card is children. I'm talking about new births, children in your life. Maybe you're I just got looking at your inner child, doing some inner child work, so you may be less communicative with others because you're going to be going within to connect with your inner child. So we're now looking at the 4th house, Cancer, the moon, your roots, your mother, your foundation of one's life, again, home, family, parents, particularly mother, tradition, heritage, the past, one's homeland, in short, your roots. So we're looking at our karma and our inner child. We're going to be very strategic. And again, this is not somebody exploring and going outside the home. This is someone who's going to be this 7 of Swords. Somebody who's going to be taking his time or her time, their one's time, analyzing, processing, so emotionally and mentally. Okay, processing inner work of self. And then we look now at 5, Leo, the Sun, self-expression, which originally had to do with the asteroid belt of Melvick. So there's a lot of loss there. But anyway, Leo, Sun, self-expression. The Queen of Swords. And let's see. So creative and self-expressive side, which may play out as artistic endeavors, romantic relationships, hobbies, and amusement or children. He is, kind of goes with this card actually here. There's someone probably, as you spend time working on your connecting with your inner child, communicating with your inner child, learning about your inner child, exploring, there's going to be a point where you're probably going to want to speak to somebody about it. There's going to be something you're going to gain from that that's going to be very worthwhile sharing with others. With this Queen of Swords, you're going to be verbalizing some information that you're going to learn. Okay. Now we are going to Virgo, the 6th position, and we are now, when we hit Cancer, we moved into harmonic universe to the soul. So the mental outpicturing of that is the Virgo Mercury Health and Services. Interestingly, Temperance got a major arcana, second major arcana. So when we're looking at the 6th house, we are looking at health, health-oriented routines, including nutrition and exercise, and the link between work and health. It also describes your daily work or chores, duties, job-oriented relationships, service to others, and the capacity for self-sacrifice. So again, this is really stressing hugely, because we're talking major arcana. Minor arcanas, if it's something you don't really like, you actually can put energy towards changing it. But when it's a major arcana, it's pretty much a done deal. So this is saying for the month of July, and again, we've been getting this quite a bit, I think pretty much every month, focusing at some level on your health and well-being, making sure you're eating right, exercising, having getting enough sleep, those kind of things, taking care of the physical form, because we're going through emotionally and mentally a lot right now, and having to slow down. And Virgos don't really like, I don't think they really like to slow down. They like to be busy doing things. This is saying we've got to, again, slow down. We're going to be processing within our home environment, but we are going to be speaking out and probably talking more about what we learn in regards to ourselves, our inner child, and health and balance, and how to be more balanced and heal as well. That will go with that card too. Okay. We are looking at the 7th house, Libra, Venus, and we're in our harmonic universe 3. So over soul level, so more mature development of the ego that's able to have more complex relationships, more one-on-one. And you are looking at 5 of Pentacles, sorry, 5 of Pentacles. So this house, traditionally this house of marriage and partnership. The 7th represents all one-on-one relationships, business and personal, including relationships with enemies. So partnerships, business partnerships. 5 of Pentacles is basically saying You're not going to want to put much energy in on new relationships, trying to develop relationships. You're going to want to kind of step back and maybe walk away a little bit. They're going to be kind of disharmonic and not really, particularly physically, not really worth a lot of time and energy to put into it. This maybe even a little bit of again, a five is a minor setback, so it's not like huge. It's not like anybody's going to get a divorce or anything major, but you're definitely going to want to be a little bit stuff again. Our nostalgia. We're looking at the two egos. Actually, we're kind of looking at three egos here. Harmonic universe 1, 2, and 3. All of them are introspective, nostalgic, inner child work, going within, stepping back, reassessing. Which just means that energy is going to be strong to do that. Again, fives are minor setbacks, so you can put energy into pushing through that, but it's going to take a lot of energy. Is it worth it? And it doesn't hurt to just step back. Okay. We are now looking at Scorpio, the 8th house, Scorpio, Pluto transformation, and it connects into, when you look at our organic system, the monad. And we have for that house. Interesting. You can't ask for a more positive card. You really can't. The Empress, Venus, the Earth, prosperity, wealth, nurturing, receiving, being looked after, regeneration. She's been known as being pregnant. Okay, so we're looking at the 8th house of transformation. So the past, transformative change, death, inheritance, and other people's resources. In this case, death usually refers to the end of something old so that something new can emerge. The 8th house also shows how another's resources affect you. I'm just kind of keeping that in mind looking at this card. So this doesn't look like the death. It looks like we're past the death and we're into the regeneration. So we should be receiving more, especially after we've done a lot of the soul work, inner child work, and starting to speak up about what we're learning through the inner child work. And we start doing more things for healing physically and just sort of not end relationships. We're just stepping back a little bit because we're doing a lot more inner work than outer work, right? With other relationships. We will start seeing our lives becoming a bit more regenerative. We'll start seeing outward manifestations in our life of the new matrix that we're establishing, and we've been working really hard to align with. We should start seeing physical earth connections in our life. To make it more on that, we'll see what's aspecting it on the other side. So next house is house 9, Sagittarius, Jupiter, higher knowledge. And we are looking at the Page of Cups. So we'll be well, actually, let me just read what it says on the 9th house. Represents the higher mind, philosophy, religion, spirituality, the law, and advanced education, as well as long distance travel, especially to foreign lands. This house shows us to the search for meaning and how one goes about expanding one's world. So this little guide is a junior card. Okay. He's not fully fledged grown. So coming from being right next to this card that we're transforming again into a new self, we'll be receiving some surprises. We'll be developing our emotional maturity a bit better in regards to our higher consciousness, our spiritual connections, right? Our knowledge. So again, kind of also kind of goes with our stepping back cards, because we're just not quite to the maturity level yet to really be as expressed and knowledgeable as we'd like to be, but we're starting to get insights and information and more emotional maturity with this card. Because we're talking not the page of swords, not the page of pentacles, it's the page of cups. So we're talking about the emotional body, okay? Development of the emotional body with this card. Emotional intelligence, I don't know if you've heard the term emotional intelligence. We're kind of at the birthing new beginnings of our having emotional intelligence as opposed to intellectual intelligence. All right. Oh, so now we're stepping into the Cappies, Capricorn, Saturn, Grandpa Saturn, life tasks, the 10th house. So we are looking at social or professional status, career, public image, and parents, particularly the father, authority, responsibilities, honor, and reputation. Okay. And it's earth, very practical, down to earth. This is kind of interesting. Wait, this way. The Wheel of Fortune, another major arcana for this month. So kind of next, so we got them next to the Sagittarius there. Emotional, starting to develop emotional intelligence. Moving into our career, our I can do this. Our professional maturity, professional status, career, public image is going to flip. So if you were finding that you were just not particularly successful in your work and career and felt kind of stuck and wasn't really moving forward, this is basically saying you're going to get a breakthrough and things are going to flip and change and actually become more prosperous in those areas of your life. You're going to feel with fewer feeling, you're going to feel more authoritative, not in a negative way, just where you felt weak and you can stand on your own merit, you're going to start feeling like you can stand on your own merit. If your reputation was not the greatest, you'll start seeing fruits of actually that shifting and becoming more fruitful with this card. Kind of what goes around comes around. So whoever was on top before you comes down to the bottom, whoever's on the bottom comes up on the top. And it's happening as we speak because this is a very strong card that's like now. So as we come, this is the last day of June. So starting in tomorrow, and the energy's probably already running this, we are majorly changing right now. Next, looking at Aquarius, the 11th house, Uranus, having to do with friendship, social media. Oh, well, let me just go ahead and read what it says for Aquarius. Refers to the our friends, groups with which we are affiliated, goals, hopes, wishes. I would say also the ability, Aquarians have the ability to, are visionaries. We can see into the future of what's of possibilities, another quality of the Aquarian. The 7 of Wands. Okay, right next to that. So we are going to be given many different opportunities with our family, friends, social media, looking at new possibilities coming in. Yeah, anybody that has business with social media, it's going to be a lot more, very successful. Many opportunities will start falling into place. That's kind of awesome. And look at the 12th house. Pisces, Neptune hitting the realm. Represents that which is hidden or not yet revealed, including our dreams and fantasies. It can also refer to our latent talents as well as fears, weaknesses, secrets, and unknown enemies, because matters associated with this sector are often unknown to us. This house is sometimes connected with self-undoing. Oh. We have the 3 of Swords here, a little painful. So mental, but these are mental, and again, it's a minor arcana. Mental, psychological, which actually still coincides with our 2 of Swords, our 7 of Swords. That as we are looking into our inner child work, which there's a lot of hidden stuff when we're looking at inner child, right? A lot of things we don't want to look at. Those are going to come to light. We are going to feel them. We are going to mourn, probably, as we look. But again, we will then be speaking what we learned from that morning. And through that speaking of what we learned from morning, we will have some healing, major, huge healings occur physically. Probably physically, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, physically. Feel like I'm missing energetically. all different seats. But we are going to definitely be stepping back because we're processing those hurts isn't going to be conducive to relationships for this month. Okay. Not going to end them. It's just going to be, we need to step back a little bit so we can process the hurts that are hidden, right? Hidden hurts that are becoming to the light. So now we look at the 13th pillar monad, going within the eternal, right? Generate frequency within our form constant, vibration of the emotional sound of the female, of the crystallizes and out pictures within the Christos of the whole zodiac spread. So the energy kind of almost like a summary of what was created. We have the six. This, no, excuse me. Where am I getting the six from? The Four of Cups. Again, he is focusing again on the emotions. The ego self. It's focusing on internally. And you could say he's focusing on these three cups. So you could even say he's focusing on harmonic universe 1, 2, and 3, maybe. Or dimensions 1, 2, and 3. Whatever you want to say. He's focusing on this physical realm through the emotions. But something else is coming in unexpectedly that he's going to have to deal with. The Three of Swords. And he's going to have to process it and deal with it. But he's going to be very introspective, not happy about it, but he's going to do it. So, Luz, did you have a summation of this month's anything that's good?
I like how you say at the end in this that you said it was more about really focusing on dimensions 1, 2, and 3, because that's pretty much what I was kind of getting, especially with the first line. I think the first card you got was the Six of Cups with the Sun card. And when you said that, I was kind of just tuning in, and I was just kind of feeling like that's kind of like a solar symbiosis. It's kind of coming back as like a small seed, and it's going to be planted within this month. But the thing is, we really got to make a choice in terms of what spiral we want to be on. Like that constant kind. I know we kind of talk about it a lot about which spiral do we want to be on, the Metatron or the crystal spiral. But again, it's all about making those choices, being aware of them, and making the best choice for you in this moment.
And just added to that is, many people, we all at some point tend to choose what we're familiar with, even if it's hurts and painful and not healthy. We'll continue with what we know than what we don't know, because what we don't know is extremely scary, even if it looks like it could be really positive. So yeah, we got to process through that.
But as a part of the gift of being given back the seed of solar symbiosis, what else I was kind of seeing is that all these other levels, your soul level, your oversoul, and your avatar levels, it's not all coming back into alignment, so to speak. For the soul level, I was getting around 60% is going to be coming in with us. For the oversoul, it's going to be 40%, and then for the avatar, 50, 60% for the group that is watching this video. And I'm getting that separation is progressively going to be occurring from now until the winter solstice, which is December 21st. But as I was kind of asking, what is there anything that we can particularly do to kind of alter these percentages? And kind of what I was getting was, and this isn't an advertisement to Katie or anything, but it was generally just soul realignment. Because right now we're in our like body level, so to speak. So our 15-dimensional time matrix self. When Katie does the soul realignment, she works with your soul level, your spirit level of records, which is outside of the time matrix. And kind of what I'm getting was, if you really want to bring in more of yourselves from the soul, oversoul, and the avatar to be able to align in with this new seed, the solar symbiosis seed, there's going to be adjustments that need to be made. And for the months ahead, really just leading to it, I'll just get aim just to be fearless. But also to remember that hard work and dedication will be rewarded. But as we do integrate these other levels of self, so that our soul level, our oversoul, and our avatar, as we approach this winter the winter solstice, these selves will really start to really manifest into our hologram, so to speak. So the chaoticness, the anger, the sadness, and such. So it's just really important to stay grounded and not kind of get dragged down with them.
Can
So
you
yeah,
focusing on playing? How can you play more? When
yeah.
we focus on that inner child, how can we play? What's possible? What are the positives? Children are breathing too. They sit up straight and they breathe and they just absorb everything that they're doing.
So yeah, not the most positive month, but again, it is a positive because we're
It's
bringing back
it,
our eternal selves back in, our
it,
divine potential.
yeah, it's not the worst, it's not the best. But it's transformative, it's changing, it's showing that those of us that are tuning in and connecting into this are actually getting some stuff done and making a shift. I mean, you were saying, what was the percentages again?
For the soul, so for the soul level, I was getting 60% over
That's that,
soul, 40%, and for the avatar, 50 to 60%.
that's not bad for where we're at right now. And
No,
that's not, we're not done. We still have more transformation. So
yeah.
that the oversoul and avatar, as the months, days, and weeks continue through, it get more and more as we go through the transformation process.
Yeah, but you do need to do the work.
Well, yeah, you do. And actually, I'll be actually kind of talking about that in a minute. So, all right. So I think we're done with that. And I we look forward in the comments hearing what, when you tune in eventually, wherever you may be, what you pick up and what you're getting from this layout and what you want to add to what we're talking about. We'd love to hear. And if you've got questions or, things that might be a little bit more big concepts, we might respond in the comment section, or if it's big enough where we know a lot of people could really benefit, we may just hold it off to the next month and talk about it then as well. So yeah. So even though we're not doing the lives, does not mean that people cannot share. So we look forward to that. So again, looking at the private sessions to really make that personal connection with your clan, multidimensional clan family, your spirit body. We just lovingly call it the pod space, but it's your Mashiach or Salon of your plasma spirit body. So we do that, harmonizingjourney.com, private session page. Oops. And then we also, for those that want to be part of a community, and again, those that are making that connection into their spirit body, light body structure, and are understanding the full mechanics of Kilanta and Tangia Hura. I like to use the term Gridkeeper, who is mindfully develops a personal relationship with their multidimensional clan spirit family within what I like to call personal planetary multi-dimensional field template. So we biofeed interface system from the core of the earth and our personal manifested body. We create, literally is how we create our reality. We create our own personal planetary structure. It, of course, through the core of the earth interfaces with others doing the same, but we still have our own personal connection. And from there we manifest. We can co-manifest with others. Others are reflections or aspects, as we are reflections and aspects of others. but we're definitely creating them at the moment. And understanding the responsibility of that and how we do affect the planet as a whole. Our emotions, our thoughts affect earthquakes, rain, droughts, all kinds of different things as a whole. We all interface together. Lewis, did you want to add anything?
I really just want to emphasize the inclusiveness of this group. It doesn't matter where you are in terms of where you are spiritually, developmentally, it doesn't really matter. Everybody is really welcome, and again, it really only takes one decision. It makes one decision within the present moment to really make a whole lot of difference. That's all it really takes. And what you'll find is the more that you start to go in and do the sessions with the Gridkeepers and everything else, more of your aspects will start to open up. And your pod space will turn from like a mini pod space kind of consciousness into a big mansion. Well, at least that's kind of how I've seen it. So it's really, really worth it just to, if you really value that extra deeper connection with your other selves.
And actually kind of added to that, which I keep forgetting to say all the time, is you have also with this community, there's quite a few number of recorded sessions that develop one's personal development of one's podcast or multidimensional plasma body. And you take your time and there's certain technique or journey techniques that you do when you first start. They're on the website, you go through. And then when you're ready, if you so choose, you can join the live when you've done sessions, but you don't have to. You can just continue personally at your own pace, doing the recorded sessions, developing your own self into this new light body structure, right? These recorded journeys really are tailor-made to disengage from the old matrix into the new. I haven't as yet know anybody else that's doing the same. And we also have a monthly discussion, so you're welcome to join that right from the get-go. Or not. Again, it's tailor-made to whatever works for you. But the bottom line is, follow through. You're definitely going to be on your way into the crystal spiral, organic light body, new time matrix that's evolving and building. And also with that, I also just recently put together the HJR seminar series. We provide digital products for PDFs, audio and video recordings of HJR journeys and workshops. So say you're not quite ready for making the commitment to the Gridkeepers, you can go onto this particular page on harmonizingjourney.com and I actually have, for those that they've been doing a lot of personal work, maybe they've been involved with Teonic science for a while, they're just very confident in their personal connection with their themselves. I do have the introductory audio version of the introductory HDR session there with the PDF to prepare. So you can go through that. If you hey, I don't need to do the private session with me, I'm good to just do that. And then you can get the HDR Beginner's Handbook, which is a shorter version of how, once you've done the introductory, how to get into the pod space, plasma body consciousness, and just kind of some do's and don'ts and just kind of more information, suggestions on how to develop that connection. And then as you're doing that, you can also, the HDR preparing your shadow aspects to be your authentic self. So that's really working through, the inner child work is really another way of saying working with your shadow. So you can utilize that PDF, and I have a audio recording that goes with that. And then I also have added to that the HJR reprogramming tab guide. So that gets into neuro-linguistic programming. So again, when you're really working on stuff, you're just really stuck, you're not getting ahead in your life, you can utilize that as well to help disengage those programs and just keeping you from moving forward. And also kind of what's that I forgot to say in regards to private sessions, I have the HJR soul realignment, which I think was kind of referring to that, where you learn what your blueprint template is on how you receive vital life force energy, as well as your soul group of origination, which is extremely helpful in developing yourself, developing your soul, evolving forward. Because if you're doing things that are against your template, you're going to eventually be disconnected from your template and become a negative soul, or what some would say an angelic human or fallen entity. Also, the soul group of origination also gives you qualities and characteristics about your temperament and personality that kind of help. And then, do you have any entity attachments? Do you have any mental, emotional programs that of varying different degrees affecting you moving forward, being successful? Do you have any implants? I mean, there's a wide range of things that I go into your records, but now with it being HJR, it's not just the Akashic records, there's other records as well. I have the gambit through connecting to the Ray of Earth, different Adashi records. I get more of the full gamut and connecting in of all kinds of very different things. And when many of them, and then I go into the record and clear them from the D5 up, going into D4, and then we work with the tab, neurolinguistic programming and the pillar of peace energy of the HDR, clearing on the harmonic universe 1 level, because you have to make new choices. And so we clear the miasmic buildup, but you still have to make new choices. So we work on clearing and making new choices, and there's a homework assignment for 21 days as well with that. And that's available as well. And I have found some people, the programs are so intense that you may want to just really take your time and do some follow-up sessions with me, or just again, working with what I just gave you, preparing your shadow aspects to be your authentic self, and looking again with the reprogramming tab guide on your own, or with me, or both, to really work with making those choices, because everything comes down to choice. You are not a victim unless you choose to be. Okay, and that's the finite. We've been living with the finite vampiring to Taurus death planetary reality, Kabbalistic reality of you're a victim in a victimizer game. And that's not really real in the real universal life. That's just a reality we're living in this matrix here, but it's not organic. And we can break through it, but we have to take self-responsibility. We have to be a true Gridkeeper and be mindful of our thoughts, feelings, and actions, and make new choices. I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that. It's okay.
No, it sounded wonderful.
And along with that, for those again that maybe not quite ready, or even if you do join the Gridkeepers group, you're going to want to get this book, and you can get it even if you don't join the Gridkeepers group. And it just really looks at a wide range of different things in all of what I just talked about. So, and a lot of what I just talked about. It even has the tab program with the tab reprogramming information in it, and other things of hope to really make the changes needed to really step out of the old matrix into the new. We're talking about moving into new earth. You're only going to move into new earth when you make new choices in Illinois. Not everybody's going to make it, but a lot of people are. And also for those that get more into the like the novel kind of not coming in the front door, but more sort of indirectly but still getting the energy. Working in Alania book series, newly inspired sci-fi fantasy series about who you are as spiritual being living in multidimensional biospiritual existence. So it starts out on Terra, our harmonic universe 2, and from an adventure sci-fi fantasy perspective, looks at what kind of went down with that, with the cataclysm of Terra, and looking at the law, spiritual essence and law of one ideology, and how to embody it. And then the next book is from current times, 2012, what was going on with that, and activations and energy connecting into the planetary portal, inner Earth portal system that was definitely connected also into Terra, but aligned into the Amenti channels into those spheres. And I don't know if you wanted to add anything in regards to that, Lewis.
It's really a complimentary book for if you read Voyages, or if you don't particularly understand it, or if you haven't read Voyages yet. It's a really good first book just to read, to really understand the politics of the books, and it really gives you a little bit of the backstory as well from the quantum science aspect in terms of how everything kind of happened. And it really just, as you read the book, it really connects with your Pathfinder receivers. She's done an absolute amazing job with the energy that she put in, because the energy itself will go into through your eyes, into some vertical column, down into the template, and it'll start to activate little nudges. And what I really find is that I can read it so many different times, or there might just be a small portion that I need to read over continuously, and I'll keep finding new and new information that I never even noticed the first time. It's such an amazing book. And again, it really just helps you to connect with your Tyrant self. And again, once you make that connection with your Tyrant self, then you can really start to make better choices and reintegrate better over here. So,
Lewis? Thank you for watching. Definitely please like this video if you have not. I'd really appreciate it. It makes a huge, huge, huge difference for other people being able to enjoy this content. Please share to anyone you think would be of interest in this content. Again, that really helps out tremendously, so that we actually might be able to get enough people we could do these live, which would be really awesome. Please subscribe to get more of this content. Also, hitting the notification button. Definitely make sure you've got that. Always check, because I've heard sometimes people get well, they sometimes get unsubscribed and they don't, the notification button goes off. So you want to make sure, so that when I do a premiere, post it, that you guys can get it. I'm not monetized by YouTube, so donations are greatly appreciated. The donation link will be is in the description box below. And just a little quick reminder, next Tuesday, a week from today, Mastery of Keelan to episode 9 on the 7th will be premiering, pre-recorded, and we will be looking at the illusion of martyrdom, pages 30 and 31 out of Postures of Love, Steps Towards Joy manual by Old Cathartic and Bazarite Press. It's sadly not available for purchase, but I don't remember who I got the copy from, but I have a PDF copy, and you can go to the again, harmonizingjourney.com and website, the HJR Foundation series page, and you can download it. And then we have on the 14th the HJR Insights Tarot Q&A. So we had a lot of fun last month doing it. Lewis is going to have more questions for me.
oh yes.
We'll have fun playing with those questions. And also, for those watching in the future, down in the chat, if you guys have questions for us please put them in the chat here and we can ask them. So on the 14th. And then you can get the premiere and listen to them, listen to our answers. And comment on that particular post, on that, I'm gonna call it post because I'm spacing on any other name for it. And you can get what your thoughts are on that, as well as any new questions. HJR Insights Tarot Energy Forecast for August will be on the 28th of next month. Let's say that that we are done. So thank you. You guys have an awesome week and or month if you only want to watch this show. And talk to you later. Thank you.